Hey, 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 Trench Dogs, looky here. Welcome, I'm Jamie East.
I'm Alice Brine.
And it is your weekly dick splash of Celebrity Trenches, the podcast that shines a light on the madness and joy of celebrity culture and brings you your essential hot takes on the last 7 days in show business. Think of us opening the cupboards of the celebrity closet. Oh, there's lots of men in there. And shining a light on the showbiz skeletons hiding inside. Alice, what we got coming up?
On the radar this week, Tyra Banks is back. She's a judge on the new series of Project Runway, but there's controversy after a new Netflix documentary came out recently, highlighting some of her previous comments about body image and now very outdated attitudes to beauty. And also we'll be talking about Holly Willoughby's... I can't say her last name. Holly Willoughby's.
Holly Willoughby.
We'll be talking about her move into YouTube and whether or not online platforms are becoming the new home for TV personalities looking for a second act. And we're also going to discuss Bonnie Tyler's total eclipse of a funeral being live streamed for fans around the world and whether celebrity culture has changed the way we say goodbye to famous people. It's all coming up.
Absolutely. Back in a second. Trench Dogs assemble.
Sorry, don't want to interrupt for too long. Can you just do me a favour? Can you just hit the like button or the subscribe button or the follow button, whichever one you can see. Doesn't matter which. Thanks very much. Right, carry on.
Alice, so how the devil are you? Is this Alice HQ that we're looking
This
at?
is Alice HQ. We're in my gaff. We're in my house. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there is a table with no chairs.
With an ashtray on it.
No, I wish it was the 80s, but it is in fact just a table. It's, what do you call them? Coasters. As you can see, there's no chairs. And I was just wondering if anybody listening or watching has any recommendations.
Oh, God, here
for
we
some
go.
furniture.
Hashtag shadow blag.
Because I don't have any
Lots of
chairs. So if anyone's thought of anything or just happens to know some good places.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I did actually order some chairs and then we tried to assemble them this weekend. And count your fucking days, Habitat. That's all I'll say.
For those of you listening and not watching, both Alice and I are in our respective homes this week because it's summer. I was at Latitude all weekend, and next week it will be remote as well because I will be on the East annual family holiday to pilgrimage to Cornwall. But so bear with us if it sounds a little different. And also you can get, if you go and look at us on YouTube or on Spotify, you can have a little nosy around our houses.
Yeah, zoom in the background.
Latitude was quite something. Have you been to Latitude?
I have. I went as a comedian. No, I wasn't even a comedian. My friend.
You were really funny though, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, my friend was performing and I coattailed in and just went for a bunch of free drinks and it was fucking fun. How was it?
It was a festival of two halves, I'm going to say. It is the most middle class of all of the festivals. And I'll talk about the good first, right? So David Byrne on Friday night was a religious experience.
Yeah, I bet.
It was probably one of the greatest shows I have ever seen.
Really?
So good. It was like one of those perfect festival evenings. And the best thing about Latitude is it's not very big at all. Like compared to Glastonbury, you can walk from one end to the other of it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas Glastonbury, it's like you need Kendall mint cake and kind of electrolytes to get from one end to the other. And so everyone was up for it. It was golden hour. Everyone was in a great mood. David Byrne walked on and did just 2 hours of just pure art and pure theatre. It was just fucking great. He is just the coolest fucking guy I have ever seen. Proper New York, proper, just full of that arrogance that New Yorkers have that is just so enviable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. They just nothing can crush their ego. They just fully believe in themselves, no matter how much of a fucking weirdo they are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He came on and just did hit after hit after hit. All the talking heads on Psycho. When he played Psycho Killer, it was just the place exploded. It was brilliant. However, that was the Friday night, yeah? And there were another 2 nights to go. The other 2 nights I spent in pure fury at people with children. And I speak as a father of 4, right? Well, Germans on European holidays who nick all of the sun lounges at 7 a.m. Latitude is like that, but for parents called Jemima and Algernon.
Children called Pluto.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who go on there with like 4 picnic blankets and the new invention of festivals, which are those trolleys, which just look like trailers, just full of small children and rucksacks. And they take the space, so a family of 4 take the space of upwards of 40 people. And they just swarm the fucking field.
Yeah.
And nothing fills me with rage like that. I had to struggle with 4 children on my shoulders, hanging on my ankles, you know, doing as they were fucking told. And it was so irritating all the way through that you couldn't stand because there was someone having a hummus tapas party in the middle of the fucking main stage field. So that was annoying.
There's been a big shift in like the generation of like how people hang out with their kids. And I can't speak to it because I don't have kids, but I can off mic. I'll fucking go off.
So all the way through the rest of the following festival, I was raging at this, and it was getting on my nerves. And I know it's a family festival, but there's also a bit of etiquette, right? So the person that offered a healthy portion of Schadenfreude was self-esteem. Okay?
Wait, because what is Schadenfreude again? Isn't it when you get what you give?
It's just like instant karma, right? It's just a little bit. It's like it's just a little cold serving of exactly what you deserve.
Oh, so, good.
So fast forward to yesterday afternoon. It must have been about, I think David Gray had done his wobbly-headed singer-songwriting thing, and then Self-Esteem came out, and everyone was waiting for Lewis Capaldi. So like they were not moving. Like the Quinoa Brigade were resolute, and they were sat there. They had stapled themselves to the floor. The blankets were spread. Like men were standing like feet, like 3 feet apart, just to claim their space. Mm-hmm. Self-Esteem walks out with her troupe of dancers all dressed as like Handmaid's Tale nuns, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is quite edgy. This is quite edgy." All the kids are there with their little ear defenders on,
looking like this.
Yep. Self-Esteem then goes, "Hey, any people with kids out there?" Ray! All the cheers. It's like they've noticed us. This is for us. And she just went, "Brace yourself. Remember, it's just a number." And proceeded to do a song called 69. Have you ever heard of the song 69 by Self-Esteem?
No, I love some of the Self-Esteem songs. I love Self-Esteem's work, but I haven't heard 69.
I have the lyrics here for you.
Brilliant.
And obviously in this day and age, it came with a full screen behind her with a lyric. Right. She was thoughtful enough to do a lyric video for the kids that had ear defenders on but couldn't hear, so she made sure that they could read it. Here's the lyrics to 69. "Stop any interaction from other people's genitals. I don't, oh my God, I don't like 69. I don't when because I need, I just can't focus on my dick. Forgetting satisfying, sucking someone else's dick. You know what I mean? And I don't like the view. Doggy style feels all right. Missionary, 40 calories burned for me. Scissoring, I find that interesting. Spooning is always soothing. But the one thing I hate, because I can't concentrate. No, I just can't abide. Yeah, I've never the time to 69.
Brilliant. I mean, it's poetry for a start.
Cleared the fucking floor.
Yeah.
Cleared the floor. Absolutely glorious. So thank you, Rebecca Louise Taylor, a.k.a. Self-Esteem. Thank you very much. You did us a solid. Algernon was not down with that chat. But that was it. Latitude was great. That was my weekend.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Oh, I got some gossip.
Oh, please.
Do you want some actual celeb gossip?
I indeed do.
It's about Glastonbury next year.
Oh, yeah?
Madonna has not even been asked to play.
So we really were reaching with our...
Well, I think us and the rest of the world. I think she was trying to manifest with Graham Norton. That's not to say she won't do it, but as of last week, she has not been asked.
Unless she's going on like a world tour, and that's what she was teasing.
Yeah. Sam Fender, on the other hand, confirmed.
Oh, good. I love Sam Fender, so that's good.
I'm going to say Saturday night. You heard it here first, Trench Dogs. Madonna unconfirmed. Alice, are you okay?
Never, but I try my best.
So that was one of the greatest television links ever made, was Holly Willoughby's fantastic check-in with the This Morning audience after the old Phil Schofield scandal, of which feels like only 6 months ago, but I think it was probably about 2 years ago now.
Really?
Yeah. Holly is back. She's taken a very long sabbatical, but she is back, but not on traditional television. She has joined the ranks of Piers Morgan and Anton Deck and Stephen Bartlett, and is launching a YouTube channel. Holly Willoughby Together. I'm not sure if she's seen the Harry Styles tour, but she has decided to call her brand now Holly Willoughby Together. What's your take on celebrities that are now launching YouTube channels, Alice Brine?
That's interesting. So, okay, give me the rundown of the Holly Willoughby journey.
She's been around for years, right? She started off on one of those early kind of like early morning, like where they played the cartoons and did links, like a precursor to T4. But that's where she started cutting her teeth. And then she got into what we call shiny floor presenting. So she's done like Dancing on Ice. She was a team captain on Celebrity Juice for many, many years. But most people know her from co-hosting This Morning for a long, long time with Philip Schofield. That show, I think it's kind of, it's slightly slowed down a bit now, but started off with Richard and Judy, who were like an institution. Then it was Fern Britton with, my God, lots of people. She actually started with John Leslie. There's another story there for another time. But ended up, then Philip Schofield took over from him, so that it was Phil and Fern. And then when Fern left, Holly Willoughby took over, so it was Phil and Holly. And they were, you know, to all intents and purposes, fucking brilliant together, right? For a long time. This Morning was like the originator of most viral clips.
Oh
if
my
it
God,
wasn't
I know.
for This Morning, we wouldn't have had Alison Hammond. You know, it was just like, you know, a lot of the stuff with Gino De Campo, if my grandmother had wheels, she would be a bike, you know, that thing where they were arguing about carbonara and stuff like that, yeah? And then he'd like make a dick joke without being a dick joke. He'd like, oh my God, it looks like cream from a penis. Whoops, did I say that? You know, it'd be like that kind of thing. He did it every week. And then I think gradually the laughter got, the corpsing kind of got a bit fake, but they used to do this thing after the National Television Awards. Every year you'd tune into This Morning to see Phil and Holly, because they would pull an all-nighter and they would turn up like rough as arseholes, and it would be hilarious because they'd be like, oh my God, I'm so hungover, and like drinking Barocca on air and all this kind of stuff, right?
Brilliant. That is very funny. We should do that.
This morning,
Oh,
we should do that. And then This Morning obviously gets mired in just scandal after scandal. So like John Leslie was the original scandal. As I said, we'll save that for another time. But, you know, Gino got cancelled. And then obviously the whole Philip Schofield thing, which is pretty dark and pretty miserable. So Phil had to leave as well. But, you know, This Morning was so powerful. And after all of that, Holly decided to take a break. Now, like, it has to be said that she has been through an absolute shit time, right? So if you remember, she had a stalker that went to trial. And I think that has affected her far more than like we know, right? Because some of the details of that were proper miserable.
No, it's like fucking terrifying. Yeah.
And so she quite rightly needed to take some time out. She's not short of a few quid. You know, she's married to Dan Baldwin, who is the TV producer who runs Hungry Bear Media, which does the Michael McIntyre show. He did Celebrity Juice and all of that. So they're a power couple.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So she's been away thinking about her next move. And interestingly, the next move that she's chosen is not to take a TV job, not to come back and do a podcast. It's actually a YouTube show, which I guess they're probably classing as a podcast as well. But I think it's like, it's the end of television stars as we know it, right?
Yeah.
There's two reasons for it, and I'll stop wanging on in a minute, is the fact there is no training ground anywhere now for TV presenters. Back in the day, there used to be T4, there used to be, like, say, all these kids shows like Blue Peter, all of the children's BBC, CITV. That's where presenters, like, cut their teeth and learnt the trade. Now there is nowhere. Those places don't exist, and TV is looking to the creator economy to replace that. Now I got a problem with that, because I'm not going to be funny. Creators are great at what they do, and they're great in like 60-second sound bites, and they're great at like being able to do these tight cuts, and everything's cut, so every sentence sounds amazing because they've done it 3 times and they've cut it. Like hosting an hour and a half long show is very, very different. So I don't know where the next generation of TV stars are going to go. And actually, all of the existing TV stars are now going, do I want to work for ITV? Do I want to work for Channel 4? I can earn more money by getting, I don't know, Marks and Spencer's to sponsor my YouTube channel. I can record it on my own terms. Apparently she's recording it in her own house. She's built like a studio, and she can control every aspect of it and also keep every single penny.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
It's indie, like an artist going indie, really.
Yeah.
I have noticed this too. There's amazing creators out there, and they're so good at what they do, and I like follow their stuff, or maybe I don't even follow their stuff, but I just like know who they are and I respect it.
Yeah.
And then you have these networks now just trying to queue jump an audience, and they're like, oh, she's got 3 million followers for what she does, and she's good on camera, right? So I'll take her. She hosts Dancing with the Stars now. And then you watch Dancing with the Stars, and they're fucking fumbling all over. I'm obviously making this analogy up.
Yeah.
Maybe they actually do have what it takes to perform live, but they are, this is their first ever shot, and they're interrupting people when they're interviewing them or talking about themselves way too much because they're used to doing that. And
well, it's their USP, is themselves, right?
Yes, that's their product. Like, that's what they know how to make. It's happened a couple of times, especially in America. They do it a lot with American creators going on red carpets. And it's...
Oh, don't start me off.
I've never missed the E channel more. Remember there used to be like Juliana Rancic or whatever her name was, and there was a bunch of like really famous...
Joan Rivers.
Oh my God. But they were specifically like, they had their toilet brush microphones and they were really good at it, and they got everything they could possibly get out of the 10 seconds they had on that runway interview. And then now you've got huge networks trying to audience pluck, and they're just like, oh, let's take an influencer, and then now they do it.
No, you're right.
And they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and then they just stand there talking the whole time about themselves. There's like Hugh Grant stood there going, what the fuck are you talking about? While this like random fashion creator is like, oh, da-da-da-da-da, I went to the shops today. And it's like, the fuck is this?
Conan summed it up perfectly, right? My career used to be doing red carpet stuff, right? That was
It's hard.
It is hard, right? And the creator economy has kind of killed it off for all the reasons you say. It's become slightly narcissistic and self-serving. The equilibrium is all over the shop, because all of a sudden it's the creators that are trying to be the stars of the show rather than the actual fucking stars of the show. And Conan summed it up perfectly, where he was like, 10 years ago, a junket, like, or a press tour for a film or a show would be kind of interesting. You'd do a bunch of chat shows, you'd do a bunch of you'd do a big GQ feature, you'd do Esquire, you would this, that and the other. And he says now you have Meryl Streep sat under a gunge tank whilst fucking Lad Bible open a box of puppies and get them to then try a load of English snacks and rate them against and you're just like, what the fuck is happening? This is not content.
It's just click farming. But I will say some of them are obviously amazing, because if you think about like Amelia de Moldenberg, she's brilliant on the red carpet. She's really, really good at it. But she's also a host. She's also very experienced and fucking hardworking and very talented as a host. She has a whole show where she interviews celebrities. She's very good at this. Is what she's supposed to do.
The Amelia thing is bang on, right? So we're in a period of time now where Claudia Winkleman's chat show is cancelled because she decided not to do it. Come on. Yeah, okay, fine. But the chat show format is absolutely screwed as well, because, and podcasts have actually, I think, been good for that, right? So one thing that podcasts have been good at is reintroducing people and giving people the patience for long-form interviews, right? And interesting long-form chats, and obviously Celebrity Trenches is the best example.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, obviously we're serving the people.
But even you take someone like Olivia Atwood, you take someone like Louis Theroux, all of the good ones, people have got the patience and the intelligence to sit and listen to an hour-long chat with two people being interesting. And chat shows on television used to be like that, right? Where you would have amazing people. I heard someone talking about Muhammad Ali would be on alongside flipping Michael Caine, but they would be there with no agenda other than to chat and be interesting. And the problem I have with the chat shows nowadays is that you have all these great stars on. Graham Norton's chat show is brilliant, right? But it's not a chat show because everything is so condensed into short. Everything's 90 seconds long, and it's just loads of 90-second sound bites glued together for social purposes. You know? And
they must be doing retakes live as well. Like, I reckon before social media took over everything, they would just roll and the story, you know, everyone had their story they were going to tell, and then Jack White did his and da-da-da. And now they're probably doing it and they're like, I'm so sorry, Nicole Kidman, could you do that again, please? And just take the middle out, actually, because we need it in 30 seconds. I don't know, that's just a guess, but I would assume they do those.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens with Holly's. I think, you know, on the plus side, you know, Holly does it. Ant and Dec have got their own now, hanging out with Ant and Dec, which is excellent. Piers Morgan, obviously, kind of like has created this, regardless of what you think of him, has created this phenomenally valuable, like, network. So it's not just like a hobbyist's thing. This is actually the future for some of these massive broadcasters.
Yeah. I'm excited for Holly. I think she's going to nail it.
On the plus side, you're your own boss, right? On the downside, you're your own boss. Yeah. And the quality control is very, very difficult when you're in charge. And plus, if you're working for TV, if you've got like a decent deal with ITV or one of the channels, they're paying you a shitload of money just to turn up, right? Mm-hmm. When it's your own thing, you do get paid a shitload of money if someone sponsors you, and you only get paid on the amount of people that watch, right? So all of a sudden the metrics are really different. So the spoils are great. Like the riches can be extraordinary, but they can also be really bad as well.
Yeah.
One question I was trying to think of is actually, what big star would really surprise people by going, you know what, fuck TV, actually even fuck podcasting, I'm going to set up my own YouTube channel. Well, actually, Claudia. Maybe Claudia is the one. Maybe if Claudia was just
so
like...
amazing, too.
Tried a chat show, didn't work. I'm just going to do a YouTube show, and it's sponsored by, I don't know, whoever makes eyeliner.
She can jump the gun. She doesn't need a YouTube show. She could go to Apple TV and do like a world tour.
Yeah, so...
I think, you know, like Ewan McGregor's Long Way Round? I could see Claudia doing something like that, and it would be fucking fantastic.
On a Segway.
Yeah, just on a line bike.
Yeah, just a line
bike
from Chile to Mexico. Yeah.
On the Silk Road.
yeah, can't see anything. She's gone the wrong way. She took the wrong left turn at London Bridge. And she's actually in Brighton. Yeah,
and that her helmet is just a recreation of her very iconic hairstyle. I would watch the shit out of that.
Claudia, our pleasure.
Jamie, you want to talk about people who have found their way back onto TV?
Well, yeah. Was it last week or the week before we were talking about cancelled celebrities? Can celebrities uncancel themselves? Lo and behold. And we also said, didn't we, it's only ever men. We forgot the latest version of a celebrity that was like royally cancelled by everybody universally was also a woman.
Exactly. Well, I think so. Basically, we're talking about Tyra Banks here.
Yeah.
I would say what happened was, everybody watched America's Next Top Model at the time and remembers feeling fucked up by it. Like, I remember being like 11 or 12 and being like, this is harmful. I don't know why yet, but I know it's ruining everything I think about myself. But anyway, we'll figure that out later. Pandemic happens and rewatches happen. I think this is when it all really kicked off. Is like, there was heaps of shows people were rewatching, Parks and Rec, but also America's Next Top Model was one of them. And people were kind of going back through the archives and finding these clips and just being like, what the fuck was this? And Tyra Banks was doing crazy things, just being really saying quite harmful things about people's bodies, just reinforcing really difficult stereotypes, making models be in really unsafe situations. Anyway, lo and behold, I think last year, or maybe actually this year, a Netflix documentary comes out. It's called Inside America's Next Top Model, and it brought up some really old conversations about her.
Amazing.
But when you watch it, they're like giving, I mean, obviously Netflix are very good at editing, but you can see and hear many situations where Tyra is set up to have some accountability if she would like to. And instead of even coming close to understanding anything about why she would need to have accountability, she just seems to double down on how it wasn't me, I had nothing to do with it, it wasn't me. And it's like, well, we're a grown adult. I mean, there's obviously two sides to every story, and obviously people are forced to do things as part of their job, but like accountability is all the basics she needed, and we got none of it.
She was not ready. She was not ready for accountability. Do you know what it reminded me of watching that? Have you ever watched the Boyzone documentary?
No.
So on Sky Documentaries, there's a fucking great documentary about Boyzone. So Boyzone, don't know if you remember, were a boy band from the 90s.
Yeah, love Boyzone.
It brought the world Ronan Keating and Keith Duffy and Shane Lynch and Mikey Graham and the sadly departed Stephen Gately. Louis Walsh was who discovered Boyzone.
That's right.
And he was a talking head on the documentary and was exactly the same. And I think what happened is and I'm going to use the phrase, they get high on their own farts, right? And what I mean by that is they're just there, they're pontificating, and they're really getting into like the thing, right? Without any element of self-awareness. And Louis Walsh is disgraceful in that documentary. Like he threw himself under a bus every time he opened his mouth, and admitted basically to calling the press on the band and spreading horrible stories about the band just to generate just to generate interest. He comes across as a despicable human being.
Yeah, Bond villain.
And I think Tyra Banks was the same, where I don't know what the vibe was like in the room when they were both filming those things, but producers are quite canny, right? They can steer you into a narrative that serves their purposes, right?
Yeah.
And I think they got an inkling that Tyra was I think they made her feel like a fucking star. I think they told her, this documentary couldn't even exist without you. We couldn't do this without hearing your side of the story, because you were America's Next Top Model. You created all these stars. You made this the phenomenon it was. And she was just like getting high off her own farts. Like, oh my God, they're right. So then when they start asking these questions, she's like, these guys are on my side. These people, the other side of the camera, the person that's talking to me a little bit off camera, they're on my side. So she's there like going, yeah, well, I was right, this, that and the other. Comes out, and what they've done is they've cut it with all these horrific stories. And I think she watched that and was just like, oh, fuckity fuck.
Yeah, 100% is what happened, which is so crazy because the irony of her being like, I don't know, man. One thing I've learned from doing America's Next Top Model is I'll never trust an editor again.
Bing, bang, bong. The editor screwed her.
Not just is she blaming it all on the edit, she's filed a lawsuit now against Netflix over her participation in the docuseries. So, and there's been no comment from Netflix, obviously. But anyway, I'm scrolling the telly and I see on Disney pops up Project Runway, a new season.
Yeah.
And I love Project Runway because it's so creative.
Right, talk to me through, what's the format of Project Runway?
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Project Runway actually came out around the same time as America's Next Top Model. Maybe before, maybe after, but it's, when you watch the early seasons, the camera quality is about the same and there's some flip phones. So it's in that same era. But basically it was amazing. It was Heidi Klum was the host, and then Tim Gunn was one of the judges. Designers, you have 30 seconds left. Designers, that's my Tim Gunn impression. And they would take New York-based mainly up-and-coming fashion designers who kind of like had starting tiny little fashion houses or working for bigger designers, and then put them in a sort of working studio, and they would get a brief every couple of days to make a look, and then they would put it on the runway and it would get judged, and then eventually they would eliminate down to the final winner. Yeah. But some of it was really, really, really incredible. There was one guy by the time we were in like the 2000s who was from New Zealand, and they did a rainway, and it was sick. Like,
a what? A rainway?
A rainway. They always make the runways and stuff, they make the challenges more and more and more fucking challenging. Like, it gets really crazy. And one of them they had to design for a runway, but it was going to be pissing down rain, the entire runway. So they needed to like prepare for that and then lean into it. So like obviously rain jacket style, gorgeous gown would be kind of cool. But this guy from New Zealand did it, and the model walks out and she's in this really gorgeous white gown, but by the time it gets soaked, all of this chalk was hidden inside it, and it just became this like amazing flood of colors. Really, really cool stuff. And then you've got all these different, Michael Kors was there, Nina Garcia is one of the judges. They kind of change it every now and then. It's been bought and sold 1,000 times to different companies. Now you have Christian, I can't remember how to pronounce his name. He's an amazing designer. Christian
Lacroix?
No, not Lacroix. But he was a...
Dior?
No, he's like probably bigger than... Well, not
Fundamentalist?
Bigger, no. Evangelist? Christian, whatever. He's brilliant. But he was a designer who won Project Runway, is now judge. Anyway, I'm watching it, and they announced the new judges, and they cut to, of all fucking people, Tyra Banks this year. It's like Tyra Banks.
She's in.
It's only just come out. It's new. I mean, I don't know if it was filmed before her documentary, maybe,
Right.
but either way. And guess what? She's not playing it safe either. She also just continues to kind of, as I've watched the first 3 episodes, say pretty kind of out of line shit and not really know. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
So do you think she's just decided, right, fuck it, I'm going to lean in. I'm going to lean into the madness. This is now what people... There's a whole generation of people that now think I'm just this slightly crazy lady who just kind of like doubles down all the time. But also, there's a bit of a renaissance for her, right? Because she'd moved to Australia, hadn't she?
Had she?
Yeah, I think she'd like moved to Australia for a long time after America's Next Top Model. And now she's back. So she's taken it upon herself to uncancel herself, right? Is that okay?
I don't know.
In a very Louis Theroux way. Is that okay?
I don't like it, especially when she's in the fashion industry and has done so much harm to body image over the years, and then also now suddenly out of nowhere wants to be a more mid-sized, slightly plus-sized body representative. That's what I find really crazy. Is like she's just jumping on. She's just jumping onto a culture that she set up to tear down, and is now judging outfits on people, and it just feels really icky to me without her having done anything to acknowledge. Because obviously, like, the whole world was fucked at the time that she was saying really toxic body things and doing really toxic stuff on that show.
Yeah.
But she's not even said that. She's not even said, like, I was obviously part of a problem. She's just like, no, I has nothing to do with anything. So then to come on the show and think that she's got license to, like, critique how something fits someone's body is just not sitting right with me at all. I know all the judges they're all mean this year. Like, no one's playing it nice. Everyone's mean. The whole thing's quite intense to watch, to be honest, because these are, like, real people, real designers who are throwing their like lives on the line to get these outfits made on time, and then you've got these kind of like 4 famous judges just saying whatever the fuck they want when they walk past. But Tyra being there is the one that I'm really uncomfortable with. I know it's a TV show, so they
is there another TV show that's mean about people's appearance though? Because like, you know, that feels like not a regression, because my theory is that everything is cyclic, especially in celebrity and especially in the media, and eventually it will come full cycle again, because we are humans, and one of the escapes that people tend to use is by being mean about famous people, or by pointing out other people's faults.
Who would do that?
Hello.
I don't do that.
But is Project Runway the only mean show that's around now? Are there others? Because I'm trying to think, like, Bake Off is very nice. Sewing Bee is very nice. The Voice is very nice.
It's not necessarily mean. It's not mean about people's bodies as such. It's more like these fashion designers are still very up and coming, and they get spoken to by these judges about their art like they are kind of just dog shit on the street. And I know that's how the industry works. But I don't know. I kind of just don't fuck with it, because like these people have really been like, they're crying already in like episode 2 just because everything's on the line. They're in fight or flight trying to get these outfits made. And then to kind of just be like really torn apart. It's like, mean is back, I guess. But it's also under the guise of like, that's how the industry works. Better be tough. Better stay tough for it.
But that was the original argument for America's Next Top Model, wasn't it? This is just, you know, get it if you want to get to the top. It's kind of fashion maxing, right? It's like it's like, don't have 3 glasses of wine because you won't be able to podcast as good. It's that kind of like performance. I wake up at 2:45. Why don't you?
Yeah.
But the fashion industry has always been a pile of shit, right? Has always been mean, and has always been ultra competitive, because by its very nature it is based on whether you look good or not. There is no way of escaping that fashion is solely based on whether it makes people look good and whether the people wearing that fashion look good or not, right?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot. I think Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada would do a very good argument about how what you're wearing is to you just a blue sweater. Do you know the joke I'm making? No, you don't know the.
No, I've never seen it.
Oh my God, there's a very famous scene in The Devil Wears Prada where Anne Hathaway basically says exactly what you just said. And then Miranda Priestley, who is obviously like kind of cosplaying Anna Wintour, does this incredible speech. Cerulean,
not just blue, turquoise or lapis, it's cerulean.
Yeah.
Was that it?
And you just think it's a blue sweater pulled out from a pile of stuff. Yeah, it's amazing. But I love the show, which is my other problem. Like, I love the meanness. And I'm like, oh my God, they're all crying. And I'm like, I'm hooked.
But that's the thing. We love watching the meanness. We can't help it.
But what right do I have to complain when I'm sat there watching the show? If I really meant what I was kind of articulating right now, I would, in fact, change the fucking channel. So, you know.
Well, there we go. We contradicted ourselves by saying that no females have ever uncancelled themselves. Tyra Banks has done exactly that because Tyra does what Tyra does.
And I also seem to be able to do it every episode.
Well, if you get killed live on air, will you live stream your funeral?
Killed live on air is crazy.
Well, if you get cancelled by the audience and pronounced dead by our TikTokers, will you live stream your funeral for us?
I would love
celebrities now do.
I would absolutely love to live stream my funeral. I would think that sounds great. Give the people what they want. Alice Bryan shutting the fuck up once and for all, live.
What's your funeral song going to be? I tell you why I'm asking this question. Again, referring back to Latitude, one of the people that we were hanging around with, just appropriate as nothing, right? We were just walking along from field to field, and they went, "Do you know what my funeral song's going to be? Firework by Katy Perry." I was just like, "Excuse me, what a
rage bait.
What a shit funeral song." I think even Katy Perry would flinch at that.
The only way to make that good is if you're getting live cremated at the time, and they've chucked sneaky fireworks in it as a surprise.
Johnny Depp did that with Hunter S. Thompson's ashes.
Fireworks,
so Johnny Depp played Hunter S. Thompson in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and they became quite close friends. And Hunter S. Thompson died. Spoiler alerts coming for all of us. And he shot some of Hunter S. Thompson's ashes into the sky attached to a firework. Whether or not it was to Katy Perry, unknown source.
I mean, it's a cool idea.
The reason we're talking about this, listeners and viewers and trench dogs, is the fact that Bonnie Tyler, Welsh warbling legend, died, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Very sadly died after I think she fell ill a while back, and she died in Faro in Portugal. Big condolences to Bonnie's family and friends. She was, it has to be said, an absolute legend.
I adore her.
But her people, her family, have decided to live stream her funeral. Now, I love Bonnie Tyler as much as the next man, unless the next man is her husband. He probably loves her more. I'm not sure I need to watch a live stream of Bonnie Tyler's funeral.
I would. I like Bonnie Tyler. I like her songs. But I would watch that funeral just because it's good to see what people are getting up to at funerals these days. People watch it with like the king and that. She's probably a bit more interesting. Yeah,
it feels a little bit over dramatic, I have to say.
Is it going to be like a show?
I don't. Well, I'm not sure she's got much left in the tank. But I tell you what, I do take it back slightly, because one of the most moving pieces of footage you can ever watch, right, is Jim Henson's funeral on YouTube. You know Jim Henson, the creator of the Muppets?
Yes.
Yeah, so Jim Henson, who invented the Muppets and invented Sesame Street, sadly died quite young, right? I think it was something like 1990 or something like that. And it was virtually national mourning in America and all around the world, because like he just created so much great stuff. And it was all just nice stuff, right? So, you know, the Muppets are just fucking nice. Sesame Street is just the amount of stuff that's done for public service broadcasting and teaching kids how to read and all that kind of, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he just genuinely seemed like a nice guy. He died, and his funeral is genuinely just one of the most moving things ever. Big Bird came and did a eulogy as Big Bird. That all the Muppets were there, right?
Oh my God.
And the bit that gets me was Kermit the Frog was there, yeah, and he had a sign underneath him, and all it said was on the sign was, "I've lost my voice."
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
So he did Big Bird, he did Bert and Ernie, he did Oscar the Grouch, he did Elmo, Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Fraggle Rock, The Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, all of that came from Jim Henson, right? And his funeral, go and watch it, because it was fucking great. Like, it was so moving and upsetting, but also uplifting and joyous. I'm just not sure we're going to get that from someone belting out, holding out for a hero. Like, I don't think we're going to get the same thing. But,
No, I mean,
I wish her all the best. I wish they were safe,
I'm
Julie.
gonna Google when it's on and watch it so that we can come back and talk about it. Actually, I'd like to know.
Okay, well, we should do like a commentary. And Tom Jones has just walked in, and ladies and gentlemen, he's wearing black. Tom Jones is wearing black. He's near the front. Michael Sheen is doing the eulogy, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Breaking: Tyra Banks will be performing a solo of Total Eclipse of the Heart with the lyrics changed to Total Eclipse of High Off My Own Fart.
Yeah, exactly. And she's slagging off the casket.
Yeah.
And Alice, this is probably our last podcast. We probably deserve to get cancelled after doing a fake commentary of the Welsh warbling legend Bonnie Tyler's funeral procession. Live on YouTube, hashtag GoFundMe.
Yeah, we would get cancelled live then and there. 100%. But I'm still up for it if you are, man.
Like the royal ones are done because of the pomp and ceremony. Michael Hutchins's was done as well in Australia. That was quite moving. Or unless it's a bit like, you know, when you have a webcam at Times Square, so that like your mates can just kind of stand there and wait. Can he see me? I'm just in front of Toys R Us. Just in front of Toys R Us. There I am. You know, maybe it's a bit like that. Alice, it's a monumental week this week. We have broken new ground.
Oh my God, what's happened?
We have our very first voice note. Would you like to hear it?
I would be so excited and honoured.
Okay, here we go.
Celebrity trench dogs. This is one of your trench dogs here. I wonder how we're meant to greet each other if we pass each other in the street like some Masonic handshake. Do we go oh, or a like Redman at the start of that Dirty song by Christina Aguilera? Anyway, just wanted to say, absolutely loving every episode. I wish there were more. I'm happy there's a double one this week. Looking forward to Fridays with Richard Bacon. That was it. I just wanted to say I'm absolutely loving it. Keep it up. Can't wait to hear more gossip. Bye.
There we go.
Oh my God, that was the best thing ever.
Best thing ever. Except, who the fuck were you?
Yeah. I don't know who you are.
Who were you?
Oh my God. Well, whoever that is.
Thank you very much. I'm going to say woman from Leeds.
Oh, I think we numbered the trench dogs. And she's 001. Like
your trench dog 001. That
the
is
official first trench dog, like back of the jersey.
Honor.
Yeah.
Loving that.
That's what I reckon.
Well, whoever you were, thank you so much. That was a joy to behold.
You're getting a hat.
You are getting a hat. So yeah, like mystery person, drop us a WhatsApp to the same number.
Or literally just comment on the YouTube like that was me. We'll see that.
Give us your name.
Yeah.
Give us your name and an address, and we'll send you a hat. So take note of the trench dogs, trench dog 002 and upwards. When you leave a WhatsApp voice note, tell us your name, tell us who you are, and you get a hat. Have we had any other comments, Alice Brine?
Oh, I believe we have had some absolute stonkers. Wait, let me bring these up. People talking about the Super Bowl. We had one comment that just made me laugh. It just said it was diabolical, which I thought was great. It's one of my favourite words, diabolical. There was a comment about shadow blagging, which, as you can remember from our last episode, is when influencers like myself will go on Instagram stories and be like, hey, can anyone recommend something just so they can get it sent for free by that brand? It's something,
and it's usually collagen, garden furniture, or holidays.
Yeah, 100%. And someone's commented saying social media stars and influencers do this all the time on TikTok, especially with skincare. They also keep mentioning an occasion like a birthday weeks before, so they get people supplying cakes and stuff. It's ridiculous.
Kids' birthday parties. Kids' birthday parties.
Oh,
unbelievable.
This was it's really trying to manipulate your fans into buying things for you because you're either cheap or can't be bothered. That's crazy. Getting your fans to buy you shit is gross. I've not seen that before.
I've not seen that before.
Yeah, if anyone's got any clips of that, send them my way. That sounds minging.
What we need to do is set up a shadow blag watch, right?
Yes.
So, trench dogs, you are tasked with flagging the shadow blag. Flag the blag. Hashtag flag the blag. If you see one, just comment in their feed with @CelebrityTrenches. We will see it, we will play it on this, and we will call them out. And we will also find out if they actually succeeded.
Yeah, exactly. But also,
because that's the thing, you can't hide a shadow blag. We're going to be like the Watergate of blagging.
if you see me blagging on my Instagram, that you can just go ahead and let that slide. You can go ahead and let that one slide. We don't really need to see. Oh, do you know what though? I sometimes see this influencer, she's awesome, and she has this like mini fridge outside her house for all of her, she's American, for all of her like delivery drivers that come and drop off all of her props for her big YouTube videos. And it's got like a full spread of Diet Cokes and crisps and like anything you could possibly need. And I got and because I'm a real influencer like that, I got my Sainsbury's delivery the other day, and I looked at the young guy delivering it and I went, do you want a Diet Coke? And he went, if you wouldn't mind. And I was like, it's cold. I'll just get that for you now. And I got him a Diet Coke out of my fridge and I gave it to him, and he was like, oh, thanks so much. And I was like, anything you need, man. Anytime, my guy. And so that, as an influencer, I do pay it forward.
Well done to you. Well done to you.
Pay it
Hashtag
forward.
Sainsbury's. Hashtag Sainsbury's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been really important to me.
Good.
So I guess thanks for tuning on in to this week's Dispatch of Celebrity Trenches. Trench Dogs.
Lovely stuff. Do not forget to like and subscribe. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just do us a favour, hit the subscribe button. We want people to get in touch, Alice. How do they do that?
They can follow us on Instagram at Celebrity Trenches, or email us via hello@celebritystrenches.com, or send us a WhatsApp voice note with your name and 077966575512. Start it with Trenches and then also your name. And there's new episodes every Wednesday. So that's exciting. And then sometimes even more than that.
And we will see you next week. We will be remote again, but, deal with it, guys. If Ant and Dec can do it from Portugal, we can do it from Cornwall. Goodbye.
Bye.
Congratulations, you made it right to the end. If you liked it that much, why not watch another one? And while you're here, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe. If you're watching on Spotify, hit the follow button. On either of them, you can leave us a comment. I do read them all, so be kind. And if you want to leave us a cheeky WhatsApp voice note, the number is in the show notes. Thanks very much.